Hi guys, my name is Bas and welcome to episode number 5 of my art tutorials here on YouTube. Today we're gonna have a look at how to clean your dataset. In the last episode we took a look at how you can explore your dataset, and now we're gonna go on to the next step, which is cleaning it. So we'll take a look at a lot of different things: how to turn character variables into vector variables, how to deal with missing values, and how to deal with duplicates. That's what we're going to do today. I do recommend watching my previous episodes, but you're not obligated to do so because I'll explain all the important things in this video as well. Well, first of all, if this video is helpful to you in any way, shape or form, then please leave a like to this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel. That would be of massive help because I want to make this channel grow as fast as possible and as big as possible. So please leave a subscription if this video is helpful to you. So we're gonna start off by opening a dataset which is called Star Wars, and it can be found in the tidyverse package. So you type library and then between brackets tidyverse, and then control enter, and in that way you open the tidyverse package. And we're gonna work with the Star Wars dataset today. So you type view and then between brackets Star Wars. And if you then press control enter, then the Star Wars dataset will open. And you can see a lot of different variables. You can see the names of Star Wars characters, their height, their mass, their hair color, and the skin color, eye color, etc. And you can also see that there are some not available, so therefore missing values in the hair color, for example, but also in the other. For example, the height of respondent number 28, which is called Arvel, is not available. And today we're gonna have a look at how to deal with these missing values. But first we're gonna have a look at how to turn character variables into vector variables. Once again, we type glimpse, and then between brackets Star Wars. Yes, and then control enter, and then you get in the bottom. You can see in the bottom in your console screen, you can see all the different variables, and that they are characters, numeric variables, and list variables. But you can see that there aren't yet any vector variables. Well, if you want to do analyses with these variables, you need to turn the character variables into vector variables first. So how do we do that? Well, we go back to the source screen, and then we type eye color. First we're gonna attach function and then Star Wars. Well, what is this? Well, from now on, every single function we do will be about the Star Wars dataset. So that's of importance. So from now on, we don't have to type every single time Star Wars. But we can now just type the function we want, and it knows that it's about the Star Wars dataset. So that's really helpful to attach those. What we're then gonna do is we're gonna take the eye color variable and press the smaller than and then the dash, so it makes an arrow, and we use s point vector and then between brackets eye color. And this means that we're going to overwrite the old variable eye color and then press Ctrl Enter, and it now is a vector variable. And we can check this because if we type class and then of eye color and press Ctrl Enter, then in the bottom, in the console screen, you can see that the class of eye color is now a vector. It used to be a character variable, but now it's a vector variable. So that's the first part. Okay, and then you can also take a look, since we made it into a vector variable, you can also take a look at the levels, so which are the categories of eye color. And you can see in the console screen, in the bottom, that the eye colors are black, blue, gray, brown, etc., etc. So now we've turned it into a vector variable, which is very important. Okay, so then we're going to take a look at the mean and not available, because if we want to take a look at, for example, we want to go back to the Star Wars dataset and want to know the mean of the height variable, so the average height. Well, we can see that it had a few not available, so therefore missing respondents, especially in the bottom. We don't know these 5. So if you would go to our source screen and then would type mean function of height, we will get in the bottom, in your source screen, a not available outcome because it has missing values. So how do you fix that? Well, there are multiple ways to do so, but one of the easiest ones is that you type mean again, height again, but this time you press the comma and then you use the function na.rm is true. So that means that not available point dot is removed and then is true because the T stands for true. So you want to know the mean of height and all the non-available, so therefore missing values are removed and which is true. Then you press Ctrl Enter and then you can see in the console screen in the bottom that the average height is 174 centimeters, 0.358. So that's how you can if you have a mean and you want to know the mean of a variable and you have missing values, this is how you can solve that. But now we're going to take a look at other functions and with non-available values. And from now on, we do sadly have to type out Star Wars again because we're going to use the pipe operators. So what we want to do now is take a look at only the complete cases from height. So we want to see a list of the height variable with only the respondents which filled it in. So with no missing values at all. How do we do that? Well, we start off by typing Star Wars and then Ctrl Shift M, which is the pipe operator variable. And that means and then. So we want to select the Star Wars variable and then we want to select the height variable and we want to filter. So, and you want to do the pipe operator again, and then we want to filter, and then between brackets, and then we type another function, which is complete cases. You can see it over there, and want the complete cases of height once again. And then to make it a little bit easier to view it, we do the pipe operator again, and then press the view function. And if you then press Ctrl Enter, then in a new screen, the height opens, so the height variable, and you can see that it is only the values which are present. So there are no more missing values. So if you want a list of the characters with no missing values, this is how you can actually do that. Another way to do this is, I will explain multiple methods, is by once again starting off by typing Star Wars and the pipe operator. And then you press select, and this time again we do height, but instead of typing filter and then complete cases, we type the pipe operator again, so Ctrl Shift M, and then na.omit, so non-available will be deleted, will be omitted. And then you don't need to fill in anything between the brackets because it's only about the height variable, and then you do the pipe operator again. And then to make it a bit easier to view, we'll type in view again. And then we press Ctrl Enter. And then over here you can see once again a list of all the characters which do have their height value. So which don't have any missing values in the terms of height. So then we close that again. So those are two ways of how you can delete the missing values. So by either using complete cases function or the non-available omit function. Then what we're going to do next is take a look at how we can do that with multiple variables, because we want because right now we've only done it with height, but we want to do it with more variables. So we type in the Star Wars dataset again, the pipe operator, and then we want to select, and this time we want to select name, hair color, and height. These three variables. And then and then the pipe operator again, I always forget that. And then we want to filter for complete, so filter and then complete cases, just like we did with only height. And then in between the brackets you type a dot. And that means that you want the complete cases of all the three variables above. So the complete cases of name, hair color and height. So no missing values for those at all. And then the pipe operator again, and then view, just because it's easier to interpret. Then you press Ctrl Enter, and now a new screen opens with the complete cases of name, hair color and height, which is 76. Which means that 76 characters have no missing values in terms of hair color and in terms of height. The total amount of respondents was, I think, 87. So that means that in this case there are 76. So that means that there are 11 characters or 11 respondents which have a missing value in terms of hair color or height. We can also take a look at those specific characters. We want to know why do they have missing values. So you can take a look at them, and it's really easy actually. You type in Star Wars again, and then the pipe operator, and then select once again name, hair, color and height, and then the pipe operator, and then filter, and then before complete cases we type the exclamation mark, and then we type complete cases, and then the dot again, and then below that you do the pipe operator, and then you do the view again, because it just makes it easier to interpret. And by using the exclamation mark, you make it the exact opposite. So this time we don't want the complete cases, but we want the missing cases. So by doing the exclamation mark, you ask the exact opposite. You can use this for all functions in R. By using the exclamation mark, you make sure that you get the opposite of what you're asking. So in this case, we don't want the complete cases, but we want all the cases. We want the cases which do have missing values. And we type a dot again, because we want that for the names, hair, color and height variables. Then we press Ctrl Enter, and now a screen opens and we can see the 11 characters, which I just thought about, and 5 of them have a missing hair color, and 6 of them have a missing height variable. And if we take a look at the height variable, then we can actually see that those are actually missing, because they do have a height. Finn and Rey are the main characters of the new Star Wars sequels, and they do have a height. It is just unknown. So those values those characters can actually be removed. While if we take a look at the hair color, and we can see that it is C-3PO, R2-D2, R5-D4, and that they are robots, they are droids. And therefore, maybe we should not remove those, but we should change it into none. Because you can see that, for example, BB-8 is also a robot, which has the hair color none, because it's a robot, it doesn't have hair. So sometimes you need to remove the missing values, for example, the ones of height, but sometimes you don't need to remove all the cases, and you can simply change them. So we will be changing those not available values into none hair color. We will do that in just a second. Alright, so what we're gonna do now is take a look at how to drop, so therefore remove certain not available values. We had just taken a look at the variables of name, hair color and height, the ones that were missing. And we came to the conclusion that the hair color not available should actually be changed, while the actual missing values from height, they should be available but they aren't. So those values can actually be removed. And how do we do that? Well, we go back to our source screen, and then we type once again Star Wars, because that's still the dataset we're working with. Then Ctrl-Shift-M for the pipe operator, and then we select in this case name, hair color and height, and then the pipe operator. And then in this case, we're not going to filter, but we're going to use the function drop _NA. So drop not available for height. So we're going to, and then Ctrl-Shift-M, and then view. So what we're going to do is we select the variables name, hair color and height, and we're going to drop the non-availables, so remove the non-availables of height. And then we press Ctrl Enter, and then a new screen gets opened, And what we can see is that the name variable, the hair color variable, and the height color variable, the height variable. But what we can see is that there are no more missing values, so no more non-available values of height. Those have been removed. So the not available of hair color are still there. C3PO, R2D2, R5D4, etc. But the non-available of height have been skipped out by using the drop not available function. Okay, so we're going to close this screen. What we're now going to do, we're almost near the end, so hang in there, is, like I said before, we're going to change, so we're going to mutate the missing values of the hair color variable. And how do we do that? We want to turn those not available into none, because they are there. They are not really missing. They are just coded wrongly. I will also make a video on how to recode values into how to recode variables into different variables. I'll do that for the next episode. But for now, we're just going to simply change the non-available values into none. How do we do that? Well, first of all, we start again by Star Wars, then the pipe operator, then select, and in this case, name and hair color, and then the pipe operator again, and then mutate, which means that we're going to alter a variable, which is going to be hair color, and hair color is going to be, and then replace -na, so replace the non-available, so replace the missing values of hair -color by comma. You need to place a comma, so hair color, comma, and then none in this case. And then to round off, you do the pipe operator again, and you type view. So once again, we select the name and the hair color variable, and then we're going to mutate, so we're going to alter the hair color variable by replacing non-available of hair color, comma, so by the value none. And then we press Ctrl Enter, and then you get a new screen with the names and the hair colors, and we can now see that the hair of C3PO and R2D2 is now none, so there are no more missing values. So that's how you can solve the missing values. You can either remove them by using the remove or the omit or the complete cases functions, but as often it's better to take a look at them whether you do want to remove them, because in this case we didn't want to remove those characters, we just wanted to replace the missing values by another value. Okay, so last but not least, I'm going to show you guys how to deal with duplicates. And in this dataset, the Star Wars dataset, there are no duplicates. But you might, for example, be afraid that someone filled in your survey twice, or that multiple people filled in your survey twice. So how do you deal with that? Then you would have duplicates, and you need to deal with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to make our own very small data frame. So in other words, make our own data set, and we're going to say that the names variable is going to consist of the combination of Bas, Robert, Kelvin, and Bas again. So we're going to create a new variable which consists of the combination of the C stands for concatenation, but it's easier just to see it as a combination of Bas, Robert, Kelvin, and Bas again. And then we're going to create a second variable, which is going to be the age variable, and it's going to consist of the combination of I'm 26, Robert is 27, Kelvin is 28, and I'm 26. So we're going to create those two by Ctrl Enter. So we've now created the variables age and names. You can see that in the environment in the top right. You can see the eye color is now a vector. We did that at the very start. And the age is now a numeric variable, while names is a character variable. What we're going to do now is use the data point frame, the data frame function, and we're going to use the names variable and the age variable. and then we're going to press view below, and then you do the pipe operator, and then we press view because it just makes it easier to interpret, and then we press Ctrl Enter, and then now a very, very small data set opens with 4 respondents, Bas, Robert, Kelvin, and Bas, and their ages. And we can see that there's a duplicate now because Bas is in there twice. And if you want to remove the duplicate, it's actually quite easy. You type data, in this case, data point frame. We want the same data frame of names and age, and then the pipe operator. But this time use, and this is important, the distinct, and you don't need to fill in anything in between the brackets. And then press the pipe operator again, and then press view. So we use the distinct function to remove duplicates. So if you're afraid that there are duplicates in your survey, that a respondent filled it in twice, then you can remove the duplicates by using the distinct function. And then you select it, and then you press Ctrl Enter, and now a new data set opens with only the distinct 3 respondents and no longer the duplicate Bas. Okay, so that's how you clean up your data set. So what to do with missing values, what to do with duplicates. And in the next episode, I'll explain in further detail how to replace and recode variables and values. But for now, guys, this was the end of the video. If it was helpful to you, then please leave a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And for now, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next tutorial. Bye.